Over the last 3 months, I've made $62,000 a week batting average just by simply selling appointments to local businesses. And if you don't believe me, just go on my YouTube and go oldest to latest. You can see every single video I show me refreshing my Stripe dashboard. I'm not full of shit. You can see I've documented the entire journey. And in this video, I want to break down my entire business model, how I leverage AI, how I use humans in that equation to ultimately remove myself from the equation. And because I've been able to bring in a killer team and leverage AI to my advantage, I now only really need to work 30 to 60 minutes a week in the agency, and it makes me a lot of money. And I want to share with you how I acquire clients, how I fulfill for my clients, what the business model actually is, and how I'm using AI, because it's not just typical SMMA. There's a couple of other things that we've now integrated within that to make it different and better and actually leaner than a typical agency. And I want to break down everything for you A to Z, because whether we like it or not, generating leads for clients, just running Facebook ads is not enough anymore. AI is taking over, whether we like it or not, and you can either adapt or you die. And I want to show you exactly how we're adapting, how you can implement the same thing in your agency, or how you can literally just replicate what I've done from the age of 16 to 19 years old, to go from zero, no diploma, no degree, no qualifications whatsoever, with zero money, to now where I'm 19 years old running a $250,000 a month agency. And before we dive in, if you do want my personal help doing everything that I show you in this video, the SOPs, the systems, the acquisition methods, then you can take a look at the free training below this video that goes over what I have to sell you and how I can help you. With that being said, let's dive in. Okay, so the way that it works is pretty damn simple. There's really 3 key points of running like a service-based business. You've got signing new clients, onboarding the client, and fulfilling for the client. That's like high-level overview. Obviously, we're not going to get into like hiring, SOPs, management, all of that stuff now. But like, if you want to start from zero, the bare minimum you need is you need to know how to acquire, how to onboard, and how to manage clients. And if you have that, you're going to make a lot of money, and then you can figure out the rest later down the line. So the first piece of the puzzle is actually signing the clients. So the first thing that we do is we book sales calls using paid ads. Now, can you do this with outbound? Can you do it with referrals? You absolutely can. But what we're really looking for whenever we're signing new clients, we want to do it consistently, because we don't just want to sign 5 clients one month and then be reliant on those 5 clients to bring us revenue for the next month. We also want to have new cash coming in, and we want a predictable and scalable acquisition channel. And that's why personally I opted for paid ads. So in terms of running paid ads, if you literally have zero money and you don't want to get on the camera, what you can actually do is you can use this tool that we've been testing out with our ads called ArcAds AI. And if you don't know what it essentially is where you can use AI creators to make your ads for you. And I can actually show you some examples of how we're using this in our agency, what we launched, and what actually works. What you can do is you can use AI for the whole ad if you have a really good editor that can literally just edit over it. And you don't even really need a good editor. You can just have somebody that's good at putting visuals on the screen to distract people from knowing that it's a fucking AI. So if I just show you this as an example, this is the exact ad that we run that was crushing it.
Facebook ads are dead, Groupon is dead, SEO is dead. Let us do this instead.
So all of that is purely AI. And you can use that arcads.ai tool where you literally go in, you pick a creator, you type in your script, and it will put it in. Now for us, what we were split testing is we had some of the AIs just doing the whole ad, and then we had a real person after the first 3 to 4 seconds of the hook just recording the ad.
So that's what this looks like. My team and I can generate you an additional $30,000 to $50,000 every month in new cash patients, or you don't.
So we've got like a high-level promise or guarantee, and then we basically go into social proof testimonials, case studies. Again, if you don't have that, don't worry about it, because even when I didn't have any case studies, it's not a make or break. Like, is it going to help and serve you in the acquisition process? Yes, but if you're starting from zero, you don't need it. So use arcads.ai, create your ads, and then in terms of the ad copy, very fucking simple. You can literally just make it with ChatGPT. And what you can do is you can literally go on Google and just type in Facebook ads library, like so. You find what your competitors do and you put it into ChatGPT, and it will help you put together some ad copies. So if we go here and we go like roofing jobs guaranteed, right? Let's say you're in roofing and you know that's an offer that everybody offers. You can put that in, and then we find, okay, cool, we've got some ad copy. And then I'm just going to put this in ChatGPT and say, help me make ad copy for my roofing agency similar to this. My guarantee is pay per roofing job. If we don't bring you jobs, you don't pay. Right? So we've got the ad creative, the video ads, which again, you can literally just script with AI. You can put in an example video, put it in there, tell it to script out a video, feed it into arcads.ai, upload it on Facebook exactly like I've done here, and then just do what I've just done here to put together some ad copy. And then you get this ad copy, you put it into the ad like so, and then you can either direct them to a lead form or a landing page. For us, we take them to a landing page, which I can actually show you. Then we literally just take them to a form here where they put in their information, and then once they sign up, so like we get their location, what business they own, where they're at, what devices they have, and then they put in their full name, business name, email, phone number, and then as soon as they put that in, we can contact them and get them on a sales call, right? So that's booking sales calls. Use AI to make paid ads, very simple. And then when we get those people to sign up, we get them to book a call. So after this, like let's say they put in their information. So they put in a phone number like so, they click submit, and then we redirect them to a schedule page where essentially they're going to be booking a sales call. So basically go, good news, our system determined we do not work with a clinic in your area. They go ahead and book a call. Very, very self-explanatory. From that point, you're then going to sell them on what I call the middleman model. Now, the model of SMMA is changing, and then there's AI coming out and this infrastructure build out. I like doing what I call the middleman model, and we're going to be leveraging AI in the fulfillment system in order to fulfill that. So what I mean is you can charge $6K up front for the infrastructure build out, which is where you come in and you go, look, John, I'm going to be coming in, I'm going to be building out all of the AI, the systems that can run your ads, manage your ads, and then all I want per month is I want X amount per qualified appointment that we book you. Because what we're going to be doing in the fulfillment system, which is what we do, is we use AI, whether you use callers or even texting, which you can both use with AI now, to book them appointments. And I would highly recommend that you go in a high leverage niche. So in terms of picking the right niche and picking the right vehicle that this is going to work for, there's a couple of main variables you want to look for. Number one is you want something that has a big total addressable market, but not too big. So you don't want to go in a niche that has like less than 10,000 of the businesses, but you don't want to go in one like real estate where they've got over 1 million. You also want one with a ticket size that is high, because if the client that you're going to target, meaning the business that you target, charges the end consumer, say 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000, it's going to be way easier for you to bring them an ROI, and you can actually charge more by doing less work. So an example of that would be, let's say you target a tree removal company that charges, say, $3,000 a job. You have higher leverage than the person that markets for a massage parlor charging $80 a session. So pick a niche that has high leverage. The other thing is sophistication and awareness level. We really want to be going for a niche that has business owners with medium awareness levels and sophistication levels, meaning they understand they have a problem, they need marketing to solve it, but they don't know what solutions are out there, or they may have tried a couple of things in the past, but it didn't really work. You want to avoid going for somebody that's completely unaware, because it's going to be a lot harder to sell them. Onboarding them is going to be a pain in the ass, but you also want to avoid people that are highly aware. Like if I could start from ground zero, I wouldn't go into med spa, for example, because they're so tech savvy. They literally have SOPs on how to dispute people. It's ridiculous. And it's low leverage, meaning they don't charge the end consumer a lot, and the TAM isn't that big either. And then you're looking for consumer demand type. So how much of the services are want and not need? Think about it this way. If somebody goes into a med spa and they're looking to book a treatment to look a little bit better, it is a want. It is not a need. If somebody has a tree that's falling on their house, it is a need. They must get that service. And the more on the spectrum of need you can go, the more of a demand there's going to always be for your service, no matter what happens in the economy. And then seasonality. So does demand fluctuate throughout the year? If you look at the roofing niche, for example, it's very seasonal. But if you think about, say, emergency plumbing, it's all year round. People are always going to need that, and it is a need. It is an emergency. So you want to pick a niche that covers as many of those things as humanly possible. And when you've checked those things off, what you can actually do is you can offer like an upfront fee for the infrastructure build out, which is you coming in and saying, hey, we're going to build out the AI, the systems, the processes to run your ads, to manage your ads, and actually have AI convert and nurture all of those leads. And then all we're going to ask for on a month-to-month basis, tying back to what I mentioned there, is dollar amount per qualified appointment booked. Now, the cool thing is if you pick your niche right, you'll have leverage and you'll be able to charge more. If you're getting clients for a massage parlor that only charges their client $80 per massage, you're not going to be able to say, hey, Mrs. Massage Parlor Lady, I want to take $200 for every appointment I book you, because they wouldn't make any money. They would actually lose money. But if you go to a stem cell company, for example, who charges their end consumer $10,000, $20,000 for a treatment plan, you can very easily go to that stem cell company and go, I want to get paid $300 for every appointment that I book you with a deposit. Or if you're going for like roofing, for example, or solar, or the contracting niche, you can go and say, hey, I want to take $250 per qualified appointment, because with them, there's never going to be a show rate issue. The thing is with niches that have like brick and mortar locations that the consumer has to go to, is there's always going to be a show rate issue. So another factor to keep in mind when you pick your niche is if you can pick something that doesn't have a show rate factor, meaning the business goes to the consumer's house. Think about roofing, solar. They don't have a location that the consumer goes to. They go to the consumer's house directly to give them a quote, okay? So that's pretty much how I'd price it, and the middleman model that I explained, where you're essentially getting paid a middleman fee to connect the consumer with the client. That's all you're doing. Then in terms of onboarding the client, you have a very simple onboarding form that you go ahead and get the client to fill out so you can collect information about their business. So for us, for example, we collect full name, email, business name, local landmarks, time zone, URLs, like for like social media, front desk number, personal phone number. Everything that we need is essentially on here, and we constantly reiterate this based on things that we don't get that we should get, that we notice the more clients we sign. So you have the onboarding form. They fill that out. You then take an onboarding call. You set everything up. You onboard them. You confirm all the information. And then you have a launch call where you actually launch the client. So this is where you set up their ads, you build their funnel, and this is where we're actually going to build out their AI texting bot to book leads for them. And this is what we frame to the client as AI infrastructure, because all you're essentially doing, you're using an external tool that can automatically call your client's leads or text your client's leads with no human interaction. It's all AI. And its goal is to qualify the lead and book the appointment, and then you literally get paid the middleman fee of using and managing the AI to generate the leads using Facebook ads, which is very damn simple, and then having the AI texting bot within the CRM you use actually book the appointments for you. And the exact same thing that I just showed you to run ads for the B2B side to actually generate clients, you can do the exact same thing on the B2C side when you're trying to get your clients leads. So for example, if I was in the med spa niche and I was running, say, a Morpheus 8 campaign, which is a very common treatment in that niche, I can literally just type in on the ads library, Morpheus 8. I can go say, I only want to see businesses in the United States, because I know the United States is probably going to have more marketing agencies or people that are more sophisticated. And I can look at the ads they're running. And basically what I'm looking at is ads that are running for more than, say, 7 to 14 days, right? And I use this tool called Ads Library AI, where I can literally go in and I can go runtime, 7 to 14 days, apply. And it will filter all of the ads to show me what's already been running for more than 7 days, or 5 days in this case. Maybe it's bugged a little bit. But you can see here, if an ad has been running for more than like 5 days, unless they're a retard, it's probably performing, okay? So you can literally just replicate what people are doing on here, copy their ads. I'm not saying copy verbatim and just download them, but model them, especially the images, because they're ridiculously easy to make. And you can literally, again, just use ChatGPT to make those images. So what I can do is I can come in here and say I wanted to replicate this ad, right? I can literally just screenshot this, go into ChatGPT and say, hey, I want to replicate this ad creative for my client who is running a Morpheus 8 treatment campaign for $4.99, which is usually $1,500. And it will create your ad creatives for you, and it can also create your ad copy. Again, the exact same process that you can run on the B2B side. So you can see it got a little bit confused. Basically what it's done is it's put together some ad copy or a headline. And I'm just going to say, no, I want the image ad creative. And you can see here, it'll just start to generate me an image. Like ChatGPT AI for image creation is getting really good. So we can essentially just make all of our client creatives using AI now, which is pretty insane. On the video side, using Arc ads for the B2B and B2C, and then ChatGPT for image ads on the B2B and the B2C side. So for you and for your clients. And then you can see here, within a matter of 5 seconds, I've already replicated their ads. I've already got my ad creatives. And then I can literally just repeat this process and create a directory of ad creatives that I can use for my clients. So the exact same principles that we do on the B2B side, we can do on the B2C side. Because everything now can be done with AI. And this is what I mean by SMMA, like that kind of model. It works, but it's changing and it's adapting. So you need to make sure that you're using AI within your fulfillment. So I've got my ad creatives. Then in terms of the ad copy, I can literally just do the same thing. So if I just like go back up to the ad library, if you remember what we did on the B2B side, I now need some ad copy for this offer. Below, I'm pasting in some example ad copy for you to model, for example. And then I can go to the ads library again, literally just repeating the process. Let's say I want to go just to the States, Morpheus 8, Bosch. And then here, same thing. I'm going to filter for ads that have been running for more than 5 days. So I'm just going to go 7 to 14, apply, see if it actually works this time. Sweet. So we've got some 2 days here, so it's bugging out a little bit. So we might just want to scroll and see if we can find an ad that's been running for at least 5 days, because then we know that it's a validated ad. So we'll go with this one as an example that's been running for 4 days, and we're going to assume, or go under the assumption, the ad copy's kind of shit. We're going to move to another one. You're just looking for ad copy that looks pretty good, as if an agency has set up the ad, okay? So we're going to keep scrolling until we see an ad that's been running for a little bit longer. So these have been running for 6 days. If we keep going down. Here we go. Prime example. So we're going to go ahead and copy. This is actually my ad. That's kind of funny. I found my own agency's ad. But we're going to go here. We're going to put it in. And you can literally just do the same with me. You can just copy my fucking ads. Like, it's the exact same process that I'm following, that I'm teaching you in this video. So if I put this in, and then I can go ahead and put together some ad copy in the matter of like 2 seconds. So now it's literally making us a templated ad copy that we know is proven to work, because the ad has been running for 7 days. And if an agency's running the ad, which this one is, because I know, because it's me, or any of these are also me. To be honest with you, whenever you look in MedSpa, the ads that you see are probably fucking me, like 90% of the time, because we own this industry. But you can see here, there's the ad copy, you've got the ad copy, you've got the ad creatives, you're good to go. Now, the next thing is actually nurturing your clients' leads to actually sign up. I would recommend that you do one or two things. Either you can get the leads to sign up on a landing page or a lead form. Either or work, but your main goal is on the fulfillment, and I'm just going to reorganize this. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to run your clients' ads. So step number one is set up clients' ads using AI, which we've literally just done in a matter of 30 seconds. Second thing you're going to do, and this is an absolute shit show, but we're going to go through it, is you're going to set up a lead nurturing bot to nurture your clients' leads. So the way that you do this is we actually use a tool called CloseBot, but you can also use GHL, Go High Level's conversational AI as well. So the way that Go High Level's conversational AI works, if I just pull up Go High Level, is you've got like a basic account that you're going to have for every client. This is just an example account where I give away my snapshotting license and scale. And essentially what you're going to need is you're going to need an automation that when a lead comes in, you send them a text and the conversational AI is then triggered. So for us, for example, what we have is we have a nurture workflow called New Leads Day 1. And the trigger to this workflow is somebody either fills out an opt-in form on a landing page or they fill out a lead form. Okay, that is the trigger. And then after that, you can have specific actions like this where you send the lead an initial text. So in our case, we say, hey, John, thanks for your interest in insert offer that they signed up for. If you don't have any questions, feel free to schedule your appointment using the link below. And that's all done with automation, which isn't anything really related to AI. Now, where AI comes into the fold is when these leads then say they're interested and we can go ahead and follow up with them. So if you go in the settings section of Go High Level, you can set something up called Conversation AI. And if I just give you an example of how this works, you can come in and put it on autopilot. So the bot replies automatically based on trained data. You can have it respond via SMS, Facebook, Instagram. In my case, I'm going to do SMS. I'm going to put in the business name. So let's say it's like test business. I want to wait 30 seconds before it responds. I might even put this as a random number to make it seem more natural. Maximum messages a bot can send in a conversation. I'm just going to put like 20. Send bot to sleep when I send a message manually or through workflow. Yeah, and then I'm going to go ahead and click save. And then I can give it more context on my agency, on my industry, to feed it more data. So if you go into the bot training section, you can feed it information about your agency and about the client, okay? So what you can do is you can create something called a knowledge base. And if you click create new, and we just call this like example, this is where you're going to feed the AI context. So when it responds, it knows and has information about your agency and how you work. So you can see here under the knowledge base, I might want to call this one like test business. I can add a description. So for example, your objective is to convert leads signing up for a treatment offer for insert med spa name. For example, I'm just going to click save. And then we can add any additional websites. So for example, if you have a landing page, if your client has a website. So if I just pull up my website for license and scale, for example, which by the way is in the link below if you want help scaling your agency, you can go ahead and put this in and it can actually crawl the website and scan all of the data around that website to understand what you do, how you do it, and what you're selling. So if you have a landing page for your client or your client has a website on the treatment you're advertising or the service you're advertising, you can go ahead and put that in and it will crawl all of the data. And then you can also add specific Q&A. So for example, how much does this cost? The pricing really depends on X, Y, and Z, right? So essentially you're going to go in and you're going to train the bot on the things that it needs to know. And then on the right-hand side, you can also test your bot, okay? And then you can also set up specific bot goals. So here, this is where we're going to create a bot personality. So you are a bot for business name, tasked to assist customers. Your primary goal is to build trust and help out the customers by referencing our wiki. And again, you can use ChatGPT for this. So in this case, I can literally just put this in and say, I need help building out a conversational AI that's goal is to book the leads in for an in-person consultation signing up on this offer. Help me make a personality prompt to train this bot correctly, as a prime example. And if we go back to Go High Level here, and we just clear this out, and the cool thing is you can also add custom values. So you can say, like, location, name, and you can add in a custom value here to say, like, account, name. And if you have a custom value for anything else, for example, if we go in here and we say full name, this is the lead's full name as an example. So you can add in specific information about the client if, for example, you have any additional custom values. So for us, for example, we have custom values on the appointment status form, the company name, the company time zone, the company website, feed that information to AI because it's going to be more sophisticated the more data that you give it, okay? So we can just go ahead and put in this personality prompt, just paste it in. I'm going to skip through this just for the purpose of speeding through this video. And then you can put it in like so. You can put in the goal. Your goal is to assist customers, whatever the hell the goal is. Your goal is to book appointments and take a deposit, and then any additional information that you want to give it, okay? And then you can set up actions. For example, I want you to book an appointment. I want you to book an appointment on this calendar. And then after you've done that, I want you to trigger a workflow after booking, and that workflow is going to be the appointment booked workflow. And then you're going to click save, okay? Just keep it bare bones for now. And then what you can do is you can also see on the dashboard here how many unique contacts it's reached out to, how many messages, how many appointments it's booked, how much time you've saved overall. And then what you can do is you can test the AI. So how much does this promo cost? And you can test it and make sure that it's actually working correctly. So then if you set this up in the right way, anytime that somebody sends a text, the conversational AI will go in and it will respond. And if you ever want to train the AI on anything additional, for example, let's say the answer was shit. I'm going to put a thumbs down and save this to the knowledge base and add this as a question and answer. So then we can train it as time goes on. So I'd encourage you that when you build this AI bot to nurture your clients' leads, you can go in and you can play with it for about an hour or two and give it specific questions that people would ask, or the most common questions that people would ask, and train it on the answers. So for example, here, I might want to train it on giving a rebuttal instead of just giving the price. The price really depends on your goals, budget, ... We need to get you in for an in-person consultation, okay? And that's essentially all you need to do. And then you can train the bot on that piece of information, okay? So that is essentially how you nurture your clients' leads. Now, in terms of the automations piece, we're not going to get into that now, but that is pretty much all you need. And then you need an organized pipeline to make sure that you can see the leads moving from left to right. So in our case, in the snapshot that I give in License to Scale, we have new leads, contacts attempted, short-term, lead responded, responded didn't book, booked, no-show, cancelled, showed sold, showed not sold, long-term nurture, website leads, and disqualified, okay? And once you've done that, you've set your client's ads up, you've set up the lead nurturing bot, the final thing that is very, very important in fulfilling for the client is client communication. So the way that we communicate with our clients is we have a Slack channel with every client, and you can actually also use AI to communicate with your clients. So what I've done in this case is I've compiled thousands of questions and answers within our agency of what clients often ask us. And we've gone ahead and just given this to our client success team. Or in your case, if you don't have anybody like that and you're just starting your agency, you can build an agent like this, or you can join License to Scale and you can use this one with all my data in, and you can put in an example message. For example, a client says, the results are shit. I want to cancel. And you can just even just screenshot this or put it in like so, and you can make a ChatGPT agent that can help you structure the right message and will give you the right answers. So you can see here, it gives you the response that you can literally just send into your client and communicate with them on, okay? So AI is your best friend in this entire equation. So that is pretty much everything on how you fulfill for your clients. What we've gone over in this video, just to recap, is how to sign clients, how to onboard clients, how to fulfill for clients, and how to communicate with clients. And again, if you want my help building your agency and scaling it to 6 or multi-6 figures a month to the point where you can get to a stage where you can either exit or you can remove yourself from the equation and use it as a cash flowing asset like I am, check out the link below, and I hope this was valuable. Love you.